Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Skog back again for part 2 of my little retouching series. If you missed the first part, we did a quick head swap and now we're going to even out that skin. If you're really serious about retouching for your client, I highly recommend getting some sort of pen tablet. I have the Wacom. I love it. It takes like a week to get used to, and once you go there, you really can't go back to a mouse. Mouse for everyday things, but not for retouching and editing. All right, guys, so here we go. Let's get right into it. Now, when I'm looking at this image, automatically I'm seeing obviously the difference in tones in her skin. We just want to even that out. Women, we show our age in our hands, and none of us like veins. So we not only recommend they get a spray tan, but obviously, yeah, sometimes we have to get those veins. And for some reason, they photograph darker than they are in real life. She's got a little bit on her knees too that we kind of want to even out. So I'm just going to show you the quick and dirty way that I edit. So I'm going to do Command J, and I'm sorry, this is a Mac, so if you're on PC, I'm not exactly sure what the shortcuts are, but Command J creates a duplicate layer, and then I'm going to do another snapshot. I've got a ton of them. I just do it as a habit just to make sure I've always got it. And I'm also noticing this this darkness here that I want to get rid of. So first I'm going to take my Dodge brush. I've got it set to mid-tones and usually between like 5 and 6%. Nothing too significant. I'm going to increase just a little bit and just lightly kind of go over some of the darker areas that we just want to kind of minimize. And maybe even lighten up those eyes just a tiny bit, not too much. You want this to be very natural. I go in here where it's just a little dark. And then what you can do is right here it's a little lighter. So if you press Alt while you're in your Dodge and Burn tool, it turns to a burn tool. And then you can kind of get some of the same, any hard lines you want to get rid of, kind of just get rid of some of those harsher lines. And get that skin to be a little bit more even. Okay? And then you are going to take your healing brush again with a J. Now, a lot of times I have to pull from good skin, and usually it is the forehead. So the forehead's typically what I have. So I start with this skin up here, and I just kind of take a sample here, and then I just do little brushes, and then every once in a while I'll mix my sample up. So I'll just do Alt gets you your sample. So basically you're sampling good area and you're putting it over, and it basically copies the texture and gives you that clean, clear skin. Now, some might not want to erase all of their wrinkles, and by all means, I don't expect you to erase them all. That's why I put this on a second layer. That way, if you want to go and reduce it, you can, just to give a little bit more of that natural indentation of her forehead or whatever it is. Okay, so from there, I'm going to actually do one more duplicate layer just in case we do want to go down in opacity on this forehead, just to make sure that it's really nice and realistic. But one thing you can also do is see how clear I'm getting it now. So I'm going to use this as my sample, and I'm going to kind of just keep brushing. And it's very much almost like you're painting, because I want to go over these, these larger pore areas. And then as you can hear my little tapping, I just kind of tap, 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 and get little pieces. It's all little tiny movements with my pen. Get in here. You do want to be careful when you get closer to darker areas because, like I said, this tool, this healing tool, can be a little tricky. Okay, so there's her face. Looks amazing, but she still has a couple of natural, natural lines, of course, but we've just kind of smoothed it out. And like I said, if we want, all we have to do is reduce our opacity a little bit, and then we still have a little bit of her natural texture in there. There we go. So then we've got before, oops, so let's at least go to here and after. Still, oops, sorry guys, still very natural. Okay, so now, like I said, the only other things that are bothering me with this image are her veins and her knees. So we're just gonna clear those up. And when I look back a little bit, I do go back. I'm gonna flatten, and I'm gonna make a new layer, and I do wanna blend this a tiny bit in, if I ever see any little spots. Okay, and then, so usually the veins are something you might wanna reduce your opacity. So I actually made another copy because sometimes it just looks weird with no lines in your hands. So you just wanna kind of brush them lightly. And then down on these knees. Just clearing it up. Get that bruise out of the way. Anything that could look like it doesn't belong there, as in, it's not lasting forever. I mean, if it's a birthmark or something like that, then that's totally different. But if it just looks like something that, could be gone tomorrow, let's get rid of it. One thing this model said to me is, "How do you make me look so good?" And it's just a few nice little evening touches. Little movements. All right, I think that's good. This looks a little weird. So I'm gonna blend this with the dodge tool, or burn tool, sorry. Okay, so here we go. Here we've got it. There's still some inconsistencies. I just don't want to see, why is it getting more and more? Oh, because I'm dodging, duh. Go to my J tool, which is my healing tool. There's still just a little, I just don't want any lightnesses. I want it all to just be like, pretty solid. Okay, and then from there you can put on whatever, if you have any actions you like. I like to put on grain because grain will suddenly kind of give it more of that skin texture. So I'll add a couple of film grains, and you can get these from any action set really. And there we go. So from start, head swap, and just a little bit of retouching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. As always, please send any questions, suggestions you have my way. If you'd like to see more work, please visit my website at jenniferskogboudoir.com or check us out on Instagram at Skog Gone Rogue. Thanks again. We've got lots of fun workshops and some inspirational guides coming out. Please stay tuned, and hopefully I'll get to meet you one day. Kick ass!